every English-signed coffee shop with laptops, presumably at work.
Ahorita ya no es lo que era antes. Ahorita ya está todo lleno de gente, pues, del extranjero.
Regrésense a su puto país, hijos de perra. América es un continente, no es un puto país.
It's important to note, as we did in our first episode, that many digital nomads have a genuine respect and appreciation for Mexican society and want to be a part of it. But with their sudden, jarring arrival...
Mientras respetes el lugar y lo dejes mejor, un yankee.
No. ¿No? ¿No sabes qué está pasando?
Got a little bit trash last night. I got a little bit wasted. And I can drink until dawn, but I ain't go up, drink until dawn.
$1.3 trillion trade deal with the EU. We did 40% more tariffs we're gonna get on all of Europe. He's winning, dude. How's it? The plan wasn't to tariff everybody to hell. The plan was to tariff you to the point where you have to come to the table. That was the point. And everybody's came to the table. Like, I'm gonna collapse your economy. It's one or the other. You're either gonna redo your deal or I'm gonna collapse it. Well, that could be it, but it could also be that we could have been like this the whole time and they've just been a bunch of bitches. We could have been flexing the whole time. No. You're giving us a bad deal. You're giving us a bad deal. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And instead, oh no, America, we help everybody first. No. Fuck everybody, dude. Fuck all them. They don't give a shit. They cheat us and steal our technology. They don't care. Everyone does. course I spilled my drink. That shit was good, right? Don't ain't lie. No, I brought that shit back. You're a king. Where he at? Yeah. I know.
10 seconds to pick your hero, you moron.
Fuck Podge and his hooks.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. La 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 la. 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 Na 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 la 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 la. Na 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 la 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 la. Na 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 la 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 la. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the world is on the street, that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my one Today was gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. But I don't know how.
What the fuck? They live over there.
Maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down. Rocked up from that is where we're from. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town, yeah. Now you're the talk of the town, yeah. Now you're the talk of the town. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Cause now you're the talk of the town. Whoop whoop when you run, come around. Easy now, no need to go down. Just walking gently and you're breaking a bone. You're the soul of your own. The saxophone, cause it's done with the back of the phone, yeah. I'm a record when you run, come around, yeah. Make me move, make me warm, body bubble. Let me know, say you're trouble when you're ready for the double. And you hit that, nothing, make play with it a little. Why you so not tickle? I'm telling you to hit that, nothing, make stay with it a little. Why you so not tickle? I'm feeling it.
Wait up.
When you run, come around. When you run, come around. You're the Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and seven seas. Everybody's looking for something.
He's bad. The Templar? Very bad.
Fuck you, and you, and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. I'm through, I'm through, I'm through. This the hot girl mama anthem. Turn it up and throw a tantrum. This the hot girl mama anthem. Turn it up and throw a tantrum. This that throw up in your broken back. Hook up with someone random. This the social awkward suicide. That by your lips and by your likes. I swear she had a man, but shit hit different when it's Thursday night. That college dropout music. Every day like this, she be too thick. And my friends are all annoying. Yeah, we go dumb, yeah, we go stupid. This that fucking on the table just so we can be some good. And if I get clean deluded, one more line, I'm superhuman. Fuck you, hey you, hey you. I hate my friends and they hate me too. I'm through, I'm through, I'm through. Turn it up and throw attention. Fuck you, hey you, hey you. I hate my friends and they hate me too. Fuck you, hey you, hey you. Hot girl bomber, turn it up and throw attention. This that hot girl bomber, juice that they can't box me in. I'm too left. This that drip is small like oceans. They can fit me in a Trojan out of pocket, but I'm always in my back. That's the token. This that who's out there. I'm pulling up with an emo chick that's broken. This that college dropout music. Every day like they should be too thick. My friends are all annoying. Yeah, we go dumb, yeah, we go stupid. This that game on the table just so we can be so good. And if I get clean deluded, one more line, I'm superhuman. Fuck you, and you, and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. I'm through, I'm through, I'm through. It's the hot girl mama anthem. Turn it up and throw a tantrum. Fuck you, and you, and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. Fuck you, and you, and you. Hot girl mama anthem. Turn it up and throw a tantrum. Fuck you, and you, and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. Fuck you, and you, and you. Hot girl mama anthem. Turn it up and throw throw a tantrum. The college dropout music every day like they she be too thick. And my friends are all annoying, yeah we go dumb, yeah we go stupid. This that college dropout music every day like they she be too thick. And my friends are all annoying, yeah we go dumb, yeah we go stupid. We go stupid, we go stupid, we go stupid, we go stupid. Fuck you and you and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. I'm through. I go on my head and turn it up and throw a tantrum. Fuck you and you and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. Fuck you and you and you. I go on my head and turn it up and throw a tantrum.
You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Your touch magnetizing. Feels like I am floating. Leaves my body glowing. They say, be afraid. You're not like the others. Futuristic lover. Different DNA. They don't understand you. You're from a whole other world. A different dimension. You open my eyes. And I'm ready to go. Lead me into the kiss me, kiss me. Infect me with your love and fill me with your poison. Take me. Wanna be a victim, ready for affection. Boy, you're an alien. Your touch so foreign. It's supernatural, extraterrestrial. You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Your touch magnetizing. Feels like I am floating. Leaves my body glowing. They say, be afraid. You're not like the others. Futuristic lover. Different DNA. They don't understand you. You're from a whole other world. A different dimension. You open my eyes. And I'm ready to go. Lead me into the kiss me, kiss me. Infect me with your love and fill me with your poison. Take me. Wanna be a victim, ready for affection. Boy, you're an alien. Your touch so foreign.
Listen up, here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue like him. Inside and outside, look at his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette. And everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around. Cause he ain't got nobody to listen, to listen. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, 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 da-ba-dee-da-ba-die,
Blue, if I was green, I would die. If I was green, I would die. If I was green, I would die. I'm blue if I was.
blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color of all that I wear.
Yeah, I gotta start farming. I gotta get my stuff there.
I have a girlfriend and she is so blue. Blue are the people where to walk around. Blue like my Corvette, it's sitting outside. Blue are the words I say and wanna thank. Blue are the feelings that live inside me. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-ba-dee-da-ba-die. I'm blue, 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 da-ba-dee-da-ba-die, da-da-da.
I'm blue if I was green, I would die.
I'm blue.
Your kisses of the sun was sweet. I didn't think I let it in my eyes. Like an exotic dream, the radio playing songs that I have never heard. I don't know what to say. Oh, not another word. Just la 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 la. It goes around the world. Just la 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 la. It's all around the world. Just la 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 la. And everybody's singing la 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 la. And now the bells are ringing. It goes around the world.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Falling into jealousy. How can I miss you? Really just my
Yeah,
enemy. Breaking apart, but I gotta hold my legacy. And I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die.
I don't wanna die, yo.
So I stay with a stick, still on that shit, fuck 2 times 6. Forgot who I was, then we took my shit. Like, Sturdiana, what's a move when I get up behind you? Shorty back, she get it from a. Mama, I do what I do and she do what she wanna. That's a fact, ain't no cap. Me and Chef had to run up them racks. If we missed, then we doubling back. 2018, I was stuck in a trap. Fell in love and I got too attached. Heart got broke, it ain't no coming back. If you up it, ain't no coming back. Fuck on my ops, it ain't no coming back. Is you with it? If you up it, I up it, let's get it. Sleepy ain't feel no love in a minute, but fuck it, cause I ain't been broke in a minute. And your bitch hit me up, said she just wanna fuck cause she ain't feeling strokes in a minute. You know me, I be hitting it different. So you can't get it back when I'm finished. So you can't get it when I'm cooking, I'm not in the kitchen. I'm probably somewhere out of town doing business. So I'm sorry if I couldn't kick it. I got a tattoo, I had to go missing. Said she love me, that's part of my mission. Niggas be fake, gotta keep them a distance. Baby, stop all that tripping, you should just listen. 3 words, my body different.
750 through my memories, falling into jealousy. How can I miss you? Really just my enemy. Breaking apart, but I gotta hold my legacy. And I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die.
I don't wanna die young. That might make mama crazy. No motion, I'm too wavy. No therapy can save me. Tip L's been winning lately. Then ain't no escaping. Sometimes I get impatient. Mask on, no face, no cases. Yeah. Pull back, baby, I gotta breathe. For nobody, I'm ready to bleed. And she for the
I don't wanna die young. I gotta hold my legacy. And I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die young.
I like how he was at mid with me. Like, he's attacking the creeps as I'm fighting them. Like, he's right there, I'm right here fighting. And he's just choosing not to help. I don't care. Because I'm assuming I'm gonna fight them solo. But, Jesus Christ, dude. Why are you so fucking retarded? You gonna say you need to farm? You fucking sucked the entire game.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. Backpack full, but I gave it to my bro when the girl under my arm is mad cause the car full. I was 17 when they were calling me a shady wannabe. It's funny cause I grew up stealing from Marshalls. Woke up on the couch, no cash in my house, never read. Can you see where the cash
what a fucking
I was in a Jeep, I had a bar next to me and it was yelling at me in a French accent. Black on the tee, black on the jeans, passionately bent backs like a crash on a street freak accident, token the accident free T. Used to be a chopper, then he passed it and lead 20 racks my fee. Obviously too cheap, I get checks with the best. Broke up with a Barbie and now I call her Charlie. They all turn brat when my ex see my ex in a Jeep, bitch. I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Young tall concept, I need a fee. I told them be big, yo, give me about a week. Sicker than the cold, I'ma stand that beat. And I make it hoes weak, cause I slump when I speak. The catacomb crook, neighborhood at a road hook. One look, had him on shook. The brain with the blade in the book. The chef and the cook raise up, but your soul get took. Holding up in that Jeep, slumping mad when we creep. Deep in your set, coming the freaks in they Jeep. Shoving them up what they need, the lyrical vet. Terror and Tokyo, so go get broken. We throwing they ass in a bin. Heavyweight horror, I got something bubbling all of her friends. Never gon' see me again.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Number 4, we gotta change the label name. That's a stupid name. Never too different. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't be. You're too different, nigga. You too different. Bring it back down, bro.
Hey, bitch, please, I could never go back on my fees. This shit rip, please. Even my accountant can't believe. Bought a Tiffany's, just a temper check. Can't go tit for tat. If we dealt with that, probably make my wrist bleed. And the whip speed. White girl say, geez, Louise. In tea green, emeralds in my tooth like Listerine. Take a pic with me, this a big this out. Shit hit different now. If we pull out pockets, we don't have to shut the city down. Numbers in the summer, spend my winters in the sand. If you seen the budget, probably couldn't understand. I need my acknowledgement when my feet touch the land. Probably couldn't work with you, it doesn't fit the brand. Born, make it clap, touch your toes, make it bend. Travis Barker, bank account, I'm playing with the bins. Come and take a seat with me, dancing in the stand. If you want a feat with me, send through the advance. I double my net worth in 3 days, that's just PTO. Don't try to play me, little bitch, don't play your PS4. I brought the 510 in it, bitch, they wanna see me go. Bitch, city in the town, don't like your vehicle. Got this war time, my bulletproof, my whole tribe. Had to step on shit just for my bloodline. Murdered out the whip, they chillin' mortified. Tried to kill a kid, I came back more alive. I'm like, bitch, please, I could never go back on my fees. This shit rip, please, even my accountant can't believe. Bought a Tiffany's, just a temper check. Can't go tit for tat. If we dealt with that, probably make my wrist bleed. And the whip speed, white girl say, geez, Louise. In tea green, emeralds in my tooth like Listerine. Take a pic with me, this a big this out. Shit hit different now. If we pull out pockets, we don't have to shut the city down. If I said it, then I meant it, bitch. Wartime, better ride for your lieutenant, bitch. Ay, I heard it's hot outside now. We turn the block upside down. 50,000 offers off of rhyming shit. If you deaf, the only way I'm signing shit. Neck and wrist be wetter than Moana shit. We been dropping more bombs than Obama shit. Shawty got her hair did, her nails did, it's goat. Vintage Louis V, I would never buy you Coach. Fuck it, c'est la vie, yellow diamonds on the throat. If it's you and me, we ain't never going broke. Buy so much Bottega, I could trade it for a Tesla. Wrestle with the money like a young Brock Lesnar. People talk about me like Sheila gon' be next up. That was last year, right now, bitch, I'm...
You thought you had a choice, but you never really did.
I've been running wild since a jit. Grandma.
Come get your breakfast.
Free of charge without an add-on. I get my bat on, it gets shat on. Quick to getting kicked in the dirt and spat on. Got 100 gigs of music that I sat on. And me dropping, that's like Santa put the hat on. Dash or dance or prance or vixen. Comet, Cupid, Dawn or Blitzen. Christmas gifts, I share these ratings. And I ain't worried about your little comment section. The world got a bunch of big old fish to fry. And I ain't served you nothing but a dish to try. It doesn't cut my wings if you wish to fly. Before I leave, I'd give my girl a kiss goodbye. It's non-fiction when I get in the booth. And to these rappers, it's like pulling a tooth to tell the truth. And that's the message that they telling the youth. It's like they're feeding us some poisonous fruit. Hey, what's the use? No truce. I'm getting loose. Can't be outside if you're scared of your shadow. Never judge a man for it, though I'm never that shallow. Building my space, I'm the king of my castle. I'm done spending time doing shit I don't have to. This ain't easy to does it, I gotta keep it 100. Do you believe in it? Like really, what's the reason you love it? Are you just seeking validation from the people or something that's even deeper like the demons? Why you keeping them covered? I got a bunch of different themes, I'm not a genius or nothing. Just on my feet for long enough where I be seeing it coming. I know the history repeat itself and need a discussion. This life will beat you in the head until you bleed in concussion. It's like, don't complain about my prices. Every day I get in the ring with my vices. Can't fight this night and night like this. Write my old wrongs, but no, you can't write this. Same dude might just be a little meaner now. Same blues, I'm just trying to make them greener now. Lost faith, but I'm trying to be a dreamer now. I'm looking at the different ways, I can see it now. Damn. Yeah, okay, yeah. Can't be outside if you're scared of your shadow. Never judge a man for it, though I'm never that shallow. Building my space, I'm the king of my castle. I'm done spending time doing shit I don't have to.
I said it time and time before. First contact would not be nice. Would not be fun.
Hey, and this bitch still capping with Dan, bro. Right now on the come up, lately been talking my shit because I know I come from the gutter since I was your brother. Then I go pop out in all of this linen like I was a baller. How can you hate me? I'm coming from under. Nowhere to sleep, what the fuck is a cover? Now I pop out in ballistics, they runners, man, tell us I'm tweaking, I already fucked us. I was down bad, I know I done it all, I was serving the fiends, let the Zannies dissolve. If I got a problem, I'm making one call, while none of your niggas be sliding at all. But bitch like an oven, I'm packing that heat, only get up with bitches when it's in the sheets. Run to the paper like I'm in the meat, baby, get on your knees, let me give you a treat. Too much of the walkie be having me sleep, but too much of the purse got me ready to freak. Grinding for months, I've been grinding for weeks, my uncle told me to just watch for the week, cause they like to sneak. Gucci and Prada be having me dripping like I was a sing, man, what did you think? I'm trying to make it to put some VVs inside my Cuban link, man, why do it sting? Kobe's been bringing in pounds of the Zod, but I know that it reek, you niggas not street. I got high youngers that's 13 and under, put you in the T and I do it for free. We was in stinks, we was serving the fiends. Bell told me to stop popping the beans. Right on the T, down, still in my dreams, I like dropping them Zannies inside of my lean. Lil Easy been working, keep passing your moves, you got them bitches twerking. Receive in the cut and that nigga be lurking, can't see in the track, cause we closing the curtain. Don't know what I'm feeling, seem like the niggas who doubted me most is always in my mentions. You know I ain't tripping. Drop me a check and that boy be away and my transaction pending. Before the pandemic, my niggas was clicking some rentals. Can't wait to hit Johnny to fuck up my dinner. We tips in the 40, a fuck up his minnow. We put him on TV like he Jimmy Kimmel. My niggas some rest will attack like a whistle. Hollows to this flesh and this can start to sizzle. You know we erasing a nigga like pencils. The skirt off the way, no my niggas get little. But don't let me get started. The flow on the rocks got me looking retarded. Niggas be hating, that really be garbage. Over that paper, some niggas departed. But I never care. Trying to get big and see green everywhere. My niggas on go, why your niggas be scared? Off of the walkie, get harder to steer. But I'm on my way up. See you when I'm near. And this bitch still capping with Dan, bro. Right now on the come up, lately been talking my shit because I know I come from the gutter since I'm such a brother. Then I go pop out in all of this linen like I was a baller. How can you hate me? I'm coming from under. Nowhere to sleep, what the fuck is a cover? Now I pop out in ballistics, they run us, man, tell us stop tweaking, I already fucked us. I was down bad, I know I done it all, I was serving the fiends, let the Zennies dissolve. If I got a problem, I'm making one call, while none of your niggas be sliding at all. But bitch like an oven, I'm packing that heat, only get up with bitches when this in the sheets. Run to the paper like I'm in the meat, baby, get on your knees, let me give you a treat. Too much of the walkie be having me sleep, but too much of the purse got me ready to freak. Grinding for months, I've been grinding for weeks, my uncle told me to just watch for the week, cause they like to sneak. Gucci and Prada be having me dripping like I was a sing, man, what did you think? I'm trying to make it to put some VVs inside my Cuban link, man, why do it sting? Kobe been bringing in pounds of the Zop, but I know that it reek, you niggas not street. I can have youngers that's 13 and under, put you in the T and I do it for free. We was in stinks, we was serving the fiends. Mel told me to stop popping the beans. Right on the T, down, still in my dreams, I like dropping them Xannies inside of my lean. Lil Easy been working, keep passing your moves, we got them bitches twerking. We see in the cut and that nigga be lurking, can't see in the track cause we closing the curtain. Don't know what I'm feeling, seem like the niggas who doubted me most is always in my mentions, you know I ain't tripping. Drop me a check and that boy be away and my transaction pending. Before the pandemic, my niggas was clicking some rentals. Can't wait to hit Johnny to fuck up my dental. Blue tips in the 40 or fuck up his mental. We put him on TV like he Jimmy Kimmel. My niggas some rest will attack like a whistle. Hollows to this flesh and this can start to sizzle. You know we erasing a nigga like pencils. The skirt off the way, no my niggas get little. But don't let me get started. The flow on the rocks got me looking retarded. Niggas be hating, that really be garbage. Over that paper, some niggas departed. But I never care. Trying to get big and see green everywhere. My niggas on go, why your niggas be scared? Off of the walkie, get harder to steer. But I'm on my way up. See you when I'm there.
Killers. Always off lean and perkies, they say it be numbing they feelings. In love with drilling. Niggas start chilling with no blood spilling, but they willing. Ain't no ops living. Walk on the hit, yeah we did it. Only like 4 blocks really. Niggas be silly. Asking the nigga get with me. I be like, no, not really. Clubs, but I got no mask. I'll let nigga know I did it. Fuck it. Niggas can't know my business. Nothing. Pull up in a new whip and it's disgusting. No bitches with me, cause bitches be busting. 4 niggas put them to sleep like Tussin. G-Herbo boy, where you been? Hustling. Got an F in from my bed. Fell in love with the fire. Grew up bad. Sometimes I laugh when my son cussing. Ain't like he in the trenches or nothing. Ain't like he gon' experience something. Really rich, don't be delirious, dummy. Touch him and be like a period. All my life I just wanted some money. I've been a gangsta, ain't nobody punk me. That bitch just been on my dick cause I'm funny. I used to sip up a 6 like a junkie. Ain't never been on a hit, you a flunky. Close range, them bitches miss, guess I'm lucky. Shorty a 4-foot killer like Chucky. Ain't trusting shit if it's up, then it's stuck with me.
Right now on the come up, lately been talking my shit because I know I come from the gutter since I'm such a brother. Then I go pop out in all of this linen like I was a baller. How can you hate me? I'm coming from under. Nowhere to sleep, what the fuck is a cover? Now I pop out in ballistics, they run us, man, tell us stop tweaking, I already fucked her.
Okay, bitch, y'all gon' learn somehow. Hey, I'ma leave my mark on your life before I'm 6 feet underground. Niggas was calling me trash, the same niggas out here now trying to steal my sound. Yeah, I know niggas who ready to die. If we get to you first, you gon' blow back how? Niggas professional actors, they might get the part. Well done, go ahead, take a bow. I popped the bean before I made 2 a.m. I'm just praying to God for some peace, amen. Greg going insane, someone save him. Greg lost his mind, like nomad again. If I get mad enough, I'ma get your location. If y'all get the bus and I'm calling up Caleb. Been doing drive-bys, bitch, that's a layup. Hey, who you playing with? Almost forgot who I was, wait a minute. Head on the squid when you know I stay on pivot. You can learn a lot from me, pay attention. You can learn a lot from me, pay attention.
Yeah, listen up. Niggas know how streets gon' give it up. Gas by the boat, bring your whip out to fill it up. Fuck all the fronts that's up front, better bring enough like what you said. Niggas thought that I was playing, till they start seeing me coming up. Now I'm a prophet, running they lips while I profit. Laugh to the bank cause I run it up, nigga life. Run it up, Usain Bolt. You call with my dick in the throat. Then try to diss, that's a miss, you a joke. Ha ha, beef over bitches and broke. 5-5, run up, you know I'ma blow. My dime splatter, get left on the floor. Down to control, I ain't playing with niggas like bro got the poke, get the spraying on niggas like man, these niggas really think niggas playing on it. Fuck you talking about? Then niggas be talking about nigga where they from, nigga, who they know, nigga. Nigga, I give a fuck about that shit, nigga. Streets in this bitch, nigga, SBK, nigga.
Uh-oh, you getting nervous, Oscar?
Tonight, he won't make it home. Catch him in traffic, put 2 in this dome. I'll do a hit on my own. Don't feel bad, cause they in the room.
Yeah, you remember the dude that used to sing "Beautiful Girls"? His mom's just been sentenced to 5 years for wire fraud because he was scamming people the entire time he was famous. Like, hundreds of millions of dollars scamming people. Yeah, that guy. Yes. Yeah, his mom just got sentenced to 5 years because of money he was sending her. Imagine how much money he had to be sending her that she got 5 years just for receiving transfers. Not even her doing any. Like, that must have been he must have been scamming everyone. Right.
He should have never put bro in the song. Him and his bitch been dating so long. Why she on FaceTime showing her? Why she on FaceTime showing her thong? Spit a verse, I ain't talk about songs. In Toledo, gun in my palm. I got the ball and I feel like Bron. I'm a pro, but I come with the cons. Do a hit, then fly to Vietnam. They running like Jared, they calling me Tom. I'm good wherever I go. Checking with who? Bitch, I'm the GOAT. Nah, they gotta check in with me. And I'm coming for blood if they don't. Take a break, I'm back in my zone. I'm changing my number, quick calling my phone. In the mud, I got the throne. I see the future like Raven Simone.
Throwing these bullets like my name Mahomes. Young limousine put me on. Focus on hitting the lick, then I'm gone. We just be doing the most. Moving through them cause of precedence. I see the future like prescience of the Japanese bullets is.
Nexus mods will and must follow the law. That's a direct quote, it's a fun quote, and it's also why Discord currently wants to scan your face for seeing anything not safe for work, even if it's just a meme. And the thing is, this is not scaremongering, this is not dystopian fiction, it's actually happening right now, and on July 25th, it will become law. Law that's actually got teeth. As an example, Steam could lose $2.5 billion over a simple checkbox. That's 10% of their global revenue, and it's all because they ask, are you over 13? Instead of scanning your ID on your face. But even before the law goes online, we have a totally different example of this literally killing a game. Here's one called Urban Dead. It's an
Shining like a melody in my head that I can't keep on. Got me singing like na 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 every day.
I got some funny feelings in my head, and girl, I don't know what to call it. So if you ain't quick again, say that it's.
Does the fight with Layla happen?
I don't think so. I think Layla needs to stay in the kitchen.
Do you see anyone beating Clarissa?
Not nowadays. Let's go, tell Not now. Not soon.
There's one big fight, of course, with Layla. Do you think that's going to happen?
Carissa's a bulldog. That one, say it again. She's a bulldog.
Does the fight happen? Does the fight with Layla happen?
I don't think so. I think
She should stay in the kitchen.
Layla needs to stay.
But I know that I want some more of it. He's spinning me stuck in my head, ain't too big on level with you.
It's
Getting nervous off.
5:08. So yeah.
Tonight he won't make it home. Catch him in traffic, put you in
We're
his
leaving
zone.
6:30.
I'll do a hit on my own. Don't feel bad cause they in the wrong. He should've never put bro in the song. Him and his bitch been
Sorry, but I ain't gonna be doing shit. We'll fuck it. We'll put a video on too. We'll be like,
All these bitches know I'm coolish, man. You've been acting foolish. You would thought I know that's what to say. Did it anyway.
Like what the fuck is your problem? Ain't you hella cynical? It's cause all these niggas suck on real the hypocritical.
I jumped out like Jehovah, bruh. Witness these two clips. Shoot up your whole home, make a necklace with your lips. I know Crips, I know Bloods, I know Sixes, I got plugs. Put 3 6s on my wall and blood and smoke the crucifix. With that blick, I'm rusting house declining photos. I don't cloak cause I ain't shit. I push to stop the whip max like a creature feature flick. Fuck around with what I call man's whole click. Could get flicked like a big.
Catch me with a junkie, I'm serving a fix. Yo, bitch, ride with me, I'll break her ass up like a kid. Yeah, I heard he got his rig, snatch my partner, push his wig. That shit you still cannot guess, and yo, bitch, got a smooth ass.
That's a shame, you a fucking lame. Put the hollow tip right through your brain. All you pussies sound the fucking same. Sick of trying to put y'all on the game, yet nothing has changed. I guess this whole scene half-brained, half-baked, who cares, this shit fake. Snort cocaine into my veins, turns how into a gun range. All these bitches know I'm coolish, man. You've been acting foolish, you would thought I know that's what to say. Did it anyway.
Like what the fuck is your problem? Ain't you hella cynical? It's cause all these niggas suck on real the hypocritical.
yo, they crazy. They're crazy. You see the way they just jumped out? You see the way they just jumped out?
Migrants battle ice. Whoa, look at that.
Look, 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 look.
Got people getting out. 1, 2.
Oh my!
Over the curb. Oh my goodness.
It's just crazy. Dudes is bananas.
Ooh, got him.
Oh, it's a young boy. He's like 8.
Crazy.
That's like Damien running away.
Both sides of the road.
Damien just got arrested.
How many people got arrested here? That's a lot. 7 people. But before we get into some even wilder police chases that include deployed airbags, semis full of illegals, and even a dump truck driven by smugglers, listen to this illegal immigrant with no license driving a possibly stolen car try and sweet talk police.
Hey.
It does not go well.
Allen Dock Police Department. The reason I'm stopping you is because your tag's showing there's no insurance on this vehicle.
Really?
Yeah, do you have insurance on it?
That's a problem.
No, wait, what's
From
it?
anywhere in America?
It's
No, in America? Yes, sí. Sí, señor. Oh my God. Avoided the island, not the man.
being in this recording are conversations that he allegedly had on separate occasions, one with President Putin of Russia and then the other with Xi Jinping of China. And so with that context, smash those like and subscribe buttons, and let's take a listen.
In Putin, I said, if you go in to Ukraine, we're going to bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm telling you, I haven't chosen the public ones. The public. The public. So he goes like, I don't believe you. I said, he said, no way. And I said, wait. And then he goes like, I don't believe you. But the truth is, he believed me 10%. And I thought it was, he believed me 10%. Then I'm with President Xi of China, but I said the same thing to them. I said, you know, if you go into Taiwan, I'm going to bomb this Beijing. He thought I was crazy. He said, Beijing, you stay there, bomb Beijing. I said, I have no choice. I can't tell them. They're going to bomb me. And he didn't believe me either. He said 10%. And 10% is all you need. In fact, 5% worth enough danger. And we never had a problem. We would have never had a problem.
Now, obviously, President Trump was not in office during the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. And so we'll never know what he would have actually done in that scenario. But Taiwan is still out there. And whether you believe that President Trump would actually bomb Beijing if Taiwan was invaded, setting that part aside, it does look like the Taiwanese themselves are starting to seriously prepare for something. Recently, videos like these ones here went viral online, showing Taiwanese soldiers doing drills in the large metro stations in Taipei. The drills were simulating both rapid as well as covert troop deployment under a Chinese missile strike scenario. You had other scenarios, which included evacuation drills, triage, food rationing scenarios, urban survival drills, all being played out under the assumption of live fire coming from the Chinese. These different practice runs were all a part of Taiwan's 41st annual Hongkwang exercises, which aimed to get the soldiers ready for a real invasion. However, as I mentioned earlier, this year's exercises were really different. First of all, this year's exercises were twice as long as last year's. The scenarios are significantly more complex, and things like simulating troop deployments in the actual subway under Chinese gunfire is new. My Taiwanese contacts, they told me they've never seen anything like that before, and that seeing it was almost as crazy as if in the US we saw the US Marine Corps running these kind of drills in New York, also under Chinese gunfire. In short, this year's exercises really show us that outside of the typical international saber rattling, the Taiwanese government is feeling the heat, and they're seriously worried about a real possibility of a Chinese invasion. And those concerns are not coming out of nowhere. Over the past year, the Chinese Communist Party has gotten significantly more aggressive in their posturing towards Taiwan, and then more specifically, they've really amped up their military activities in the Pacific Theater. For instance, in February, the Chinese Navy held live fire drills in the waters between Australia and New Zealand. Then, the next month, in March, satellite imagery discovered that the Chinese were developing what are known as bridge barges. It's a type of ship whose exclusive use would be invading a large island like Taiwan and dealing with the defenses that they would naturally have on the beaches there. Then, the next month, in April, the Chinese held their military exercises, codenamed Straight Thunder, wherein they simulated blockading the entirety of the island of Taiwan and then simulating hitting some of its key infrastructure points. Then, 2 months after that, you had the president of Taiwan declare that, quote, Taiwan is, of course, a country. And then, about a week after that, the Chinese military sent 132 aircraft to operate around Taiwan, with 99 of those aircraft crossing Taiwan's median line. And then also, last month, in June, the People's Liberation Army simultaneously deployed both of their 2 aircraft carriers way outside the borders of China in order to conduct drills, I should mention, that actually wound up touching Japan's exclusive economic zone. And by the way, China only has 2 active aircraft carriers, and they have never been deployed simultaneously before. So, taken all together, the Taiwanese see this ratcheting up of the heat, and they're acting accordingly. Besides what we already discussed earlier, with those Taiwanese military drills getting more elaborate and more personal in the city level, the Taiwanese electorate is also seemingly waking up to the threat of the Chinese Communist Party's invasion. Quote, in a historic first for any democracy at the national level, mass recall campaigns in Taiwan are seeking to overturn the opposition's legislative majority that was elected in 2024. Between 26 and 31 lawmakers from the KMT party will face a recall vote. The press has dubbed it the Great Recall. At stake is the control of the legislature. If the ruling DPP party can win 6 extra seats, they will regain a majority. The pro-recall campaigners rely heavily on painting red the KMT by associating them with the CCP's agenda. They suggest that the efforts by the KMT to paralyze the government, stymie defense spending, and throw the Constitutional Court into crisis are part of the CCP's plan to throw Taiwan's politics into disarray. All right, just to pause here for a super quick moment. The sponsor of today's episode is Patriot Mobile. Now look, I realize that there are many choices when it comes to who you use for your cell phone provider, and there are new choices popping up all the time. But among all the companies out there, only one unabashedly stands for every American who believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that's Patriot Mobile. For over the past 12 years now, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms, while also at the same time providing exceptional nationwide cell service with access to all 3 of the main networks. Literally hundreds of thousands of Americans have made the switch, and not only have they gotten great cell service, but also by working with Patriot Mobile, they are supporting causes that they actually believe in. And right now, switching is easier than ever. You can keep your old number, you can keep your old phone, or you can actually upgrade your phone if you wish. And best of all, you can activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Just call Patriot Mobile's all-America-based support team at 972-PATRIOT, or you can go to patriotmobile.com/Roman. The link will be down in the description box below. And if you use promo code Roman, you will get a free month of service. That's again, patriotmobile.com/Roman, or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Roman for a free month. Patriot Mobile, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. And now, back to the episode. Essentially, just for a bit of context here, currently the Taiwanese government is split. And so the executive, meaning the president, belongs to one party, the nationalist DPP, while the legislature is controlled by the opposition party, KMT, which is being labeled, within the public sentiment at least, as being the pro-CCP party. Now, whether that's really true or not would actually require a long episode of its own, because, well, Taiwanese politics, they don't really map well to our politics. Our parties don't really map well to them in terms of like conservative versus liberal. It means something different over there. And so it would require quite a bit of history to give you the full breakdown. But in short, the KMT party, despite being the direct ancestor of the Kuomintang, which is literally the group that fought against the communists in the Civil War in the 1940, ironically, that party, the KMT, is now seen by the public to be pro-CCP. And among the top reasons for that is that while the DPP party, the Nationalist Party, is very open about declaring Taiwan to be its own independent country, the KMT has the following position, quote, "The KMT maintains the official One China principle that Taiwan is a province of China, and lawmakers frequently visit top CCP officials in the People's Republic of China. For instance, former President Ma Ying-jeou of the KMT attended an event in June with Song Tao, the director of the PRC Taiwan Affairs Office, in which he stated, quote, 'My advocacy is that the 2 sides of the Taiwan Strait should pursue peaceful and democratic unification.'" And generally, it's believed that the Chinese Communist Party, they like it when the KMT is in power, since at least they're easier to work with. However, with the current mainstream sentiment in Taiwan being very anti-CCP, especially after the most recent aggressive military actions that were taken by China, it's perhaps unsurprising that over half of the KMT lawmakers are now facing recall elections. If the DPP can flip just 6 seats, they will actually be able to regain the majority. The elections, they're set to be held on July 26th as well as August 23rd. And so there you have it. That is what is currently slowly developing over in the Pacific Theater. If you'd like to know more about anything that we discussed in today's episode, I will throw several interesting links, both to articles as well as to videos, which dissect the current situation in Taiwan in much greater detail, both from a military perspective as well as from a political perspective. If you want to get deeper into it, I'll throw those links down into the description box below if you're the type of person that likes to dig into the weeds. And then until next time, I'm your host, Roman from the Epoch Times. Stay informed, most importantly, stay free.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and background play. So you can watch videos while reading, searching, shopping. Try 1 month free.
Gentlemen, you are the top 1% of all naval aviators. The elite.
So what I think about Top Gun Maverick, obviously extremely biased because I helped write the original screenplay from June of 2017 till January of 18. I worked, basically one-on-one with the director and writer to go literally line by line through that screenplay to make it ready for Navy review. And as a Tomcat guy, I was brought in because I was available and also having some Tomcat experience. The director asked me, hey, I need you to make sure that when a Tomcat pilot or Rio sees this movie, they talk to somebody. So make sure we get it right. I said, roger that.
I was privileged enough to be one of the Navy advisors early on in the movie, and I remember getting the first script, and I got towards the end, and lo and behold, they're resurrecting the Tomcat.
I appreciate the fact that they listened to me, us, Jason and I, as we, he gave them the reality of, here's some things you have to do that's going to give credibility to the movie. I do appreciate that they listened. It says a lot about the director and the writer.
Fast forward, later in the script, there's this acquiring of an enemy Tomcat, and that posed some challenges. Good news for those of us that have been around, especially in the F-14 community, we got a lot of connections, and particularly here in San Diego. So when the script called for an F-14, there were some options. There was one up in Riverside. I think there was one on Hornet up in Alameda. There's certainly one on Midway in San Diego. Those are on the carriers. You would have had to have craned them off. But a good friend of mine, he runs the Air and Space Museum here in San Diego. That was a quick call. Slug, you got a Tomcat sitting out at Gillespie Field doing nothing. We want to use it for the movie. Immediate answer was yes. Worked that through the Navy channels. And that's how we got the jet. Of course, the scenes weren't shot here in San Diego. That required getting the jet, taking it mostly apart, putting it on some big trucks, going up to Lake Tahoe and shooting all those scenes in the movie, then putting it back together, bringing it back to San Diego, and training it on board an actual aircraft carrier for all the scenes that you see out on the carrier. So when we got the go for the jet, I kindly asked the movie people I was working with, please don't break it. My reputation's kind of on the line, and they did the best they could.
Now, moving along to our voter fraud segment, over in the state of Pennsylvania, 3 former officials were just sentenced to prison for their roles in a scheme to steal a local mayoral election. And this scheme of theirs was rather audacious, involving dozens of individuals having their identities used, both wittingly and unwittingly, in order to request mail-in ballots and cast fraudulent votes. Let's go through the details of the scheme together, as well as how it was ultimately uncovered by the authorities. And as always, if you appreciate content like this, take a super quick moment to smash those like and subscribe buttons so this video can reach ever more people via the YouTube algorithm. Now, to start with, this story takes place over in Millburn, Pennsylvania, which is a relatively small borough located right outside of Philly. And in 2020, Millburn held an election for mayor. And before I give you the names of the 2 main candidates, there's one thing that I believe is worth mentioning to you in order to give you the proper context. Millburn has experienced a significant shift in demographics over the last 40 years. According to the 1980 census, this particular borough was over 90% white. But after 4 decades of immigration, the latest census, the one from 2020, shows that Millburn is now 7% white, 20% African American, and 63% Asian, with that Asian category being predominantly people from India, Pakistan, and especially Bangladesh. This change in demographics is being reflected in the town itself. For instance, the name of the main street in this town is called Sellers Avenue. It's named that after the founding family of this particular town, the Sellers family, who moved from Derbyshire, England, and settled this town all the way back in the 1700s. Now, however, if you go to that street, you might notice that it has a secondary name, Bangladesh Avenue, which is an obvious physical testament to the growing power of the local Bangladeshi community. And this change, besides the street names and the local shops, is also being reflected in the local politics, which brings us neatly back to the mayor's race. In 2021, the incumbent mayor decided not to run for re-election, and therefore a primary had to be held. Now, Millburn is a Democrat stronghold, meaning in a practical sense that whoever wins the Democrat primary is the presumed winner of the general race. And in 2021, these were the two candidates in the Democrat primary. You had Mahabubul Tayyib versus Mohammad Nurul Hassan. Now, these two men had a lot in common. They were both about the same age, 47 and 48 respectively. They both came from the city of Chittagong in Bangladesh. After moving to the U.S., both of these two men lived in the same apartment building in Philadelphia, where they actually became friends with one another. Then they separately moved to Millburn, where they both became members of the Borough Council. They're also both naturalized U.S. citizens. Now, after the primary election was held and all the dust was settled, Mr. Mahabubul Tayyib was declared to be the winner, and he received the Democrat nomination for mayor. However, his buddy, Mr. Mohammed Hassan, he did not take this defeat lying down, and instead, Mr. Hassan launched his own write-in campaign for the general election, meaning that Mr. Hassan's name would not appear as one of the official choices, but he was still out there trying to get enough people to write his name on their ballot so that he could still win. Mr. Hassan was supported in this effort of his by two other men. Both of these two other men were members of the Borough Council at that time. You had Mr. Muhammad Mansur Ali as well as Mr. Muhammad Rafiqul Islam. If you include Mr. Hassan, these were the three men who wound up getting indicted for the scheme that they were about to enact in order to try and win the general election. Now, this scheme of theirs, it involved using Pennsylvania's very lax rules when it came to voter registration, as well as their lax rules when it came to the ordering of mail-in ballots. Here is how the Justice Department described it in their court filing. Quote, the Pennsylvania Secretary of State's office operated an online voter registration website which was accessible to the public. Any person who accessed the voter registration website could either submit a new voter registration application or edit an existing voter's registration information as long as the person knew certain personal identification information about the voter. A person who provided such information about a voter on the registration website could change the voter's name, their address, and or their party affiliation, and or request a mail-in or absentee ballot. So basically, as long as you have some basic information about that particular voter, you can go to this website and you can change their official address on file, and then you can also order an absentee ballot in their name. And those ballots, by the way, would literally be sent anywhere. Quote, if the person accessing the registration website requested a mail-in or absentee ballot for the voter, such a person could ask for the ballot to be mailed to any address in the world. And so, I'm already sure you can guess how this scheme of theirs played out. According to the indictment, they found people who lived outside of Millburn. They went on this Pennsylvania Secretary of State website and changed those people's registrations to make it look like they did live in Millburn. They ordered absentee ballots in these people's names. They collected those ballots. They filled them out with Mr. Hassan's name as the choice for mayor. They faked the signature, and then they sent it in. Now, in terms of where they were able to get these people's information from in order to do this process, there were two sources, according to the indictment. The first were friends and acquaintances. Quote, to further this conspiracy, the men contacted friends and acquaintances whom they knew did not live in Millburn, told these non-Millburn residents that Mr. Hassan was running for mayor in Millburn, asked if they could register the non-Millburn residents to vote in Millburn, and then cast mail-in ballots for Mr. Hassan to be mayor. During many of these conversations, the men told their non-Millburn friends and acquaintances that they would not get in trouble as long as they did not vote in another election in November of 2021. Basically, they asked their friends for help, and if those friends agreed, then they would take their driver's license number, jot down the necessary information like the driver's license ID, their full name, their date of birth, their address, and whatever else was necessary. Then they would go over on the website to the online system, re-register them to be Millburn residents, then get their ballots. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, at least those people knew that this was happening. There was another subset of people who had no idea. Quote, Mr. Hassan and Mr. Ali also conspired and agreed to use personal identifying information for other non-Millburn residents that they had obtained from other sources, such as Mr. Hassan's business, to register those non-residents as Millburn voters without the knowledge of those non-residents, which is rather wild. I wasn't able to find out exactly what Mr. Hassan's business was in the community, but let's just say it's a roofing company. You get your roof done by Mr. Hassan, and then later that year, unbeknownst to you, you're suddenly voting for him for mayor in the general election, even though you don't even live in that town. I guess you get a little added value by roofing with Hassan. Regardless though, this scheme of theirs actually wound up not working. Even though they were able to register nearly 36 individuals using this method, it was not enough to steal the election. Mr. Hassan still wound up losing by 23 votes. However, the sudden spike in voter registrations between the primary and general election set off alarm bells. Also, because this was a small community, Mr. Tayyub, the other guy in the race, the guy who won, he knew some of the names of the people who were being registered, and he knew that those people did not actually live in Millburn. And so he understood right away what was happening. All right, just to pause here for a super quick moment, I'd like to introduce our sponsor and my own personal gold dealer, American Hartford Gold. Now, as soon as the latest round of tariffs hit, almost immediately, the stock market hit some serious waves, we could say. It became super turbulent, very volatile, and of course, these conditions don't just affect Wall Street, they affect all of us with our investments and our retirement accounts. That's why I want to introduce a company that I trust and I use myself to help secure my own savings, American Hartford Gold. They specialize in helping Americans move their assets into something tangible, something you can actually hold, physical gold and physical silver. Two precious metals that help me sleep better at night, knowing that I have a hedge against all those brilliant decisions being made over in Washington. Now, they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, they have thousands of 5-star reviews, and they make the whole buying process super simple. Your metals can be shipped directly to your doorstep, or you can transfer your current retirement account to a tax-advantaged gold IRA. And the best part is that right now, American Hartford Gold is offering an exclusive buy one, get one deal for my viewers. When you call them and mention my name, Roman, for every 1 ounce of gold that you purchase, you can get 1 ounce of free silver. And so, take advantage of this special offer. Either call 866-242-2352 or simply text Roman to 65532. That's again, 866-242-2352 or text Roman to 65532. I'll also throw their information, so they'll be down in the box below. The authorities were notified. FBI launched an investigation, and eventually they uncovered the whole plot. Now, it took a while. It took roughly 3.5 years since the election, but eventually, in February of this year, these 3 men were arrested and charged with a litany of crimes, including conspiracy to commit voter fraud, giving false information in registering to vote, filing fraudulent voter registrations, as well as aiding and abetting. And by April of this year, so within 2 months, they all wound up pleading guilty. Which is also just wild if you think about it. I mean, these 3 men, they committed a combined total of 65 felonies, because each fake vote is its own felony. But they still lost the election. So they literally don't have anything to show for it. And even worse than that, unlike many of the other voter fraud cases that we've covered on this channel, in this case over in Millburn, Pennsylvania, the federal judge actually threw the book at these men. He gave them harsher sentences than what the prosecutors were actually asking for. In explaining for why he did this, meaning his rationale, Judge Harvey Bartell said the following, quote, "In the court's view, there are very few crimes in our federal code which are more serious than what you have committed. What you have done is undermine our democratic process." And as such, Mr. Hassan was sentenced to 3 years in prison along with 1 year of supervised release. Mr. Muhammad Islam was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison, plus also 1 year of supervised release, plus he had to pay $1,700 in fines. And then Mr. Muhammad Mansur Ali, he was sentenced to 21 months in prison, 1 year of supervised release, as well as ordered to pay a $2,500 fine. The men are all scheduled to surrender themselves and begin their sentences in August, next month, middle of next month. And so there you have it. The story of a scheme to steal a local election over in Pennsylvania that not only failed, but failed in a spectacular fashion. Also, I didn't know where else in this episode to put this part, but in that interim period between losing the mayor's race and getting arrested, that was a period spanning over 3 years. And during that long period, even as you had federal and local investigations ongoing, and even as everyone in the community pretty much knew what took place, Mr. Hassan and Mr. Ali continued to sit on the council board. Here's how a local Pennsylvania publication described the situation. Quote, "Nearly 4 years after the election fraud and a month after the guilty pleas, a tense mood still hung over Millburn's 5-member borough council. 2 members resigned recently for reasons unrelated to the fraud case, which left only 3 members, including Hassan and Ali. Despite their convictions, the men refused to immediately resign and weren't legally required to do so. Although they did eventually resign. And by the way, I'll quickly mention that those 2 other members mentioned in that article who resigned for unrelated reasons to the fraud case, I looked them up as well, and those guys had to resign because they were also being accused of not living in Millburn. And so that's what's going on there. If you'd like to read the official court documents, which in my opinion are pretty interesting, they go into a lot greater detail of the scheme itself, how it was enacted, and how each voter was registered. If you want to check it out, I'll throw the links to the PDFs. You'll be able to find them down in the description box below. And also, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you live in Millburn, let me know if I missed anything. And if you don't live in Millburn, well, what do you think of this scheme of theirs? Does it show you how easy it is to misuse the voter registration online setup that Pennsylvania has? Or perhaps is the fact that these men were caught good evidence that the system does work well and the safeguards that are in place, well, they're functioning properly? I'd love to know your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments section below. I'll be reading through them tonight when the episode premieres, as well as into the week as more people watch the episode. And then, as always, if you haven't already for some odd reason, do smash those like and subscribe buttons so that this video can reach ever more people. And also by smashing that subscribe button, you'll be informed of any new episodes as soon as we publish them. And then, until next time, I'm your host, Roman. Stay in the On Friday, July 18th, you had a unique situation. The Trump administration formally announced that the United States will be rejecting a certain World Health Organization agreement. Specifically, this was a global agreement that would have granted the WHO certain powers over America in the case of another pandemic. Although at that point you might be asking yourself, hold on, Roman, why would we have to do this? I mean, on Trump's first day in office, he signed an executive order saying that the U.S. will leave the WHO altogether. So why do we have to reject certain agreements coming from the WHO? Well, the reason for that is indeed rather interesting, and we'll get to that in a moment. But the formal announcement came in the form of a joint statement that was made by RFK Jr. in his capacity as the health secretary, as well as Marco Rubio in his capacity as Secretary of State. Here's part of what RFK Jr. said. Quote, "Nations who accept the new regulations are signing over their power in health emergencies to an unelected international organization that could order lockdowns, travel restrictions, or any other measures that it sees fit. In fact, it doesn't even need to declare an emergency." Now, the backstory here is indeed quite interesting, and it really does show you the direct impact that a single election can have. Because you see, the changes in question that the WHO made were actually pushed forward by the prior administration. Up until the year 2025, the U.S. government was actually the lead proponent of the changes that the WHO made. Now, we covered it extensively on our program as it was happening. Basically, when Joe Biden was in the White House during that 4-year-long period, his administration was working closely with the WHO to create a global pandemic treaty. For instance, back in September of 2022, you had the former U.S. Health Secretary, Mr. Javier Becerra. He issued a joint statement alongside the director of the WHO announcing what they refer to as the U.S. WHO Strategic Dialogue. And in that statement, the goal of this strategic dialogue was stated to be, among other things, the following, quote, "To develop a platform to maximize the long-standing U.S.-WHO partnership and to protect and promote the health of all people around the globe, including the American people, as well as to develop a new pandemic instrument." Now, what exactly the new pandemic instrument is that they're discussing here, well, that began to take shape shortly after the statement was made. That's because you fast forward from the statement roughly 6 months, and on February 1st of 2023, these UN-US discussions spawned something called the Zero Draft of a Pandemic Treaty. You can see it up on your screen. Now, notably, this was just a draft, but it gives you an idea of what they were discussing and what they were trying to work towards. The Zero Draft version of that treaty would have given massive amounts of power to the UN through the WHO. For instance, under the subsection titled "The World Together Equitably," the Zero Draft document would grant the WHO the power to declare and to manage a global pandemic emergency. In practice, what that would look like, according to the text of that Zero Draft document, is that once a health emergency was declared by the WHO, all the signatories to the agreement, which would naturally include the United States, they would submit themselves in one shape, form, or other to the WHO regarding things like the treatment for the emergency, the government regulations, such as lockdowns, as well as vaccine mandates. The WHO would take control of the global supply chains for those things, and they would have the authority to both monitor as well as surveil the populations of the different countries for safety and compliance reasons. Basically, if you remember back to the years of the pandemic, what was happening regionally in some countries in Europe and Asia and some states in the United States, where some enacted vaccine mandates, vaccine passports, vaccine tracking software, and so on, that would now all be done globally and managed by the WHO. Now, that was the zero draft version of the document. However, that particular zero draft version received so much pushback internationally that eventually many of its provisions were scrapped, and in its place, something a bit more watered down was actually enacted. Quote, "There was considerable resistance to these plans, especially from critics of the COVID-19 lockdowns recommended by the WHO. In the end, the idea of far-reaching restrictions on national sovereignty did not have majority support among the states. In response to this growing resistance, the new international health regulation reforms appear to be significantly weakened compared with the much criticized early drafts." And indeed, last year in August of 2024, the WHO passed these reforms with the United States under the Biden administration agreeing to comply with these new WHO amendments. And despite being watered down compared to the zero draft version of that document, it did introduce a new term. Quote, "The amendments to the regulations included introducing a new term, a pandemic emergency, that would trigger certain actions to respond to a pandemic or events that could become a pandemic." The WHO said after they were approved in 2024 by member countries, including the United States, that the amendments would strengthen global preparedness, surveillance, and responses to public health emergencies, including pandemics. However, these new reforms to the amendment, they would leave ample room for interpretation. And so, according to the text, quote, "The criteria for declaring a pandemic emergency include an infectious pathogenic threat with a wide geographical spread or risk of spread, the overload or threat of overloading health systems of affected states, etc. However, it is important to note that none of these conditions must exist or be demonstrable at the time of declaration. Rather, it is sufficient that there is a perceived risk of their occurrence. This gives the WHO Director General considerable scope for interpretation and is a reminder of how extensive restrictions on fundamental human rights were justified for more than 2 years in many countries during the COVID-19 response, pursued because of an abstract threat of imminent overloading of health systems, even at times of minimal transmission." Now, on the one hand, proponents of this amendment, which again used to include the United States government prior to the year 2025, they would say that this is a smart amendment, that the WHO, with all their technical knowledge, with their resources, their databases, as well as their ability to see real-time data from around the whole world, well, that should give them the authority to declare an emergency if they believe an emergency is imminent, since they have that vantage point. However, the idea of placing our national decision-making authority outside of the U.S. into the hands of people who are not even Americans was exactly one of the stated reasons that RFK Jr. gave when explaining the rationale for rejecting these amendments. Because you see, as I alluded to earlier at the top of the episode, this whole amendment process really does show the real-world effects that one election can have. Because on the one hand, you had the Biden administration playing an active role in shaping these new amendments. They literally got him across the finish line. However, as soon as Trump came back into the White House, on his very first day in office, he signed an executive order which literally withdrew the U.S. from the WHO in its entirety. Not just from the amendments, but from the WHO as a whole. However, because these amendments were already ratified, there was this kind of a strange situation that came about. Quote, "There was a deadline this month to reject the amendments, or they would have become binding on the United States, even though the country withdrew from the WHO earlier this year." All right, just to pause here for a super quick moment, I'd like to introduce our sponsor and my own personal gold dealer, American Hartford Gold. Now, as soon as the latest round of tariffs hit, almost immediately, the stock market hit some serious waves, we could say. It became super turbulent, very volatile, and of course, these conditions don't just affect Wall Street, they affect all of us with our investments and our retirement accounts. That's why I want to introduce a company that I trust and I use myself to help secure my own savings, American Hartford Gold. They specialize in helping Americans move their assets into something tangible, something you can actually hold, physical gold and physical silver. Two precious metals that help me sleep better at night, knowing that I have a hedge against all those brilliant decisions being made over in Washington. Now, they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, they have thousands of 5-star reviews, and they make the whole buying process super simple. Your metals can be shipped directly to your doorstep, or you can transfer your current retirement account to a tax-advantaged gold IRA. And the best part is that right now, American Hartford Gold is offering an exclusive buy one, get one deal for my viewers. When you call them and mention my name, Roman, for every 1 ounce of gold that you purchase, you can get 1 ounce of free silver. And so, take advantage of this special offer. Either call 866-242-2352 or simply text Roman to 65532. That's again, 866-242-2352 or text Roman to 65532. I'll also throw their information. It'll be down in the description box below. And so then this brings us neatly back to what happened last Friday. RFK Jr. and Marco Rubio, they released a joint statement, you can see it up on your screen, saying that the U.S. will not be complying with these new amendments. Now, besides weakening our national sovereignty and our national decision-making ability, the two, they also wrote the following as other reasons for why we are no longer going to be bound by these amendments. Quote, terminology throughout the 2024 amendments is vague and broad, risking WHO-coordinated international responses that focus on political issues like solidarity rather than rapid and effective actions. The amendments also suggest that countries develop capabilities that jeopardize management and dissemination controls over public health information, potentially stifling valuable scientific debate. Furthermore, these revisions compel countries to adopt digital health documents, reminiscent of vaccine passports. There was also the Chinese component that they threw in here. Quote, developed without adequate public input, these amendments expand the role of the WHO in public health emergencies, create additional authorities for the WHO for shaping pandemic declarations, and promote WHO's ability to facilitate equitable access of health commodities. These amendments have undue influence on our domestic health responses from WHO directives. They also fail to adequately address the WHO's susceptibility to the political influence and censorship, most notably from China, during outbreaks. And so there you have it, the story of how the U.S. withdrew not only from the WHO, but also from the last remnants of the WHO that were set to go into effect. If you'd like to read either the full statement that came out of the Trump administration, or if you would like to read the actual full text of the WHO amendments as they're written, I'll throw all those links down into the description box below this video if you want to read them in their entirety. And also, I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think that this is a good move and it's a direction towards more national sovereignty, or do you think that it will have a bad effect? In the case of a real pandemic sometime in the future, perhaps by not handing over our reins to the WHO, maybe the U.S. won't do as well. Although, is there really anything stopping the U.S. government from just looking at what the WHO is doing, taking their best practices and also listening to their good advice, even if we're not a chartered member? We could still just follow their advice of our own volition. I'd love to know your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments section below. I'll be reading them tonight after the episode premieres and also well into the week. And then also, lastly, after you're done checking out those links and leaving those comments, if you would so like, smash that like button so that this video can reach ever more people. And then also, if you'd like to receive more episodes in your timeline every time we publish them, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you hopefully will be informed of any new episode as soon as we publish it. And then until next time, I'm your host, Roman from the Epoch Times. Stay informed, and most importantly, stay free.
There's a new inmate at the federal prison in Otisville, New York. A 42-year-old convicted Chinese spy named Xu Yanjun. In October 2021, Xu sat across a federal courtroom in Cincinnati from another career spy, a retired CIA officer named Jim Olsen, who was testifying for the U.S. government.
When I looked at Xu in the court, it crossed my mind. He and I are alike. We both were serving our country. Honorably, we thought. We both were schooled in tradecraft. But there's a big difference between the two of us.
What's that?
You got caught, and I didn't.
The story of how Olsen and Xu came to face each other is a tale of modern espionage. It's a saga that revealed Xu was just a small piece in what U.S. officials say is a vast enterprise orchestrated from Beijing with one goal in mind.
China ultimately wants to surpass the U.S. as the dominant global superpower.
In this global shadow war, it can be difficult to tell just who has the upper hand.
But the story of Xu Yanjun demonstrates just how this game is played today. And it's a game with millions of American jobs on the line. What's the way for the United States to win this espionage war?
We have to be more aggressive. We have to wake up. What torments me is that we haven't caught them all.
If catching spies is hard enough, prosecuting them is almost unheard of. In Cincinnati, Ohio, there are 2 U.S. attorneys who've done it, Tim Mangan and Emily Gladfelter. Their case started in 2017 when a GE aviation engineer, David Zhang, receives a seemingly innocuous message from a university official in Nanjing, China. The GE engineer gets an outreach over LinkedIn. How come he doesn't just delete it and think, oh, this is just spam? What triggers him responding to it?
Well, it was an invitation to come speak at a university about his subject matter.
So that's prestigious.
I think he was flattered. And as it turned out, they were willing to fund the trip, and it's paying for a flight back to China. He was able to combine it with seeing his family.
The university that invited the engineer focuses on aerospace science. And in 2017, Zhang is working on GE's newest jet engine, the GE9X, being built for Boeing's 777X.
The GE engineer was one of less than 10 people on a team regarding this technology that they were working on.
What was it that the Chinese were trying to get here?
GE's engine fan blades are made of a composite material, which makes it very light, very strong. That gives it a tremendous advantage over competitors with respect to weight, fuel efficiency, and so forth. Other competitors have tried to develop this on their own, and some are getting close, but as far as engines that are up in the air right now, the only ones with a composite fan blade and a fan blade case are from GE.
David Zhang declined our interview request, but prosecutors say that when he visits the university in Nanjing in June 2017, he's being assessed. During his trip, Zhang is introduced to a man who claims to be part of a local science and tech association.
The alias he uses is Chu Wei, but it's Xu Yanjun, who works for the Ministry of State Security. It's essentially the main intelligence operation within the Republic of China.
Xu Yanjun is a spy at the Ministry of State Security, or MSS. In the spring of 2017, Xu is 36 years old and a mid-level officer in one of its provincial bureaus. He attempts to recruit the GE engineer as an agent using techniques known as tradecraft. Jim Olson is a former chief of counterintelligence at the CIA.
You have to pretend to be someone else. That's your cover.
A decorated spy who was undercover in Paris, Vienna, and Moscow, Olson made the difficult decision to come in from the cold to teach the country's next generation of intelligence officers at the Bush School at Texas A&M University. As the prosecutor's expert witness on tradecraft, Olson says Xu Yanjun's wooing of the GE engineer was textbook.
In LinkedIn, you're soliciting responses from prospective employers. And what the Chinese do is they respond. And they do it under the guise of something that is innocent sounding. Would you be available to come to China at our expense to do a guest lecture? It's above board, it's unclassified, all expenses paid. They wine them and dine them. They flatter them.
So far, none of that sounds like spying. That sounds
spying
like
yet.
networking.
It's spying from the Chinese standpoint because they're sizing this person up. They've got designs on that person. They're not satisfied with an unclassified lecture. They want to get their hands on the goods. They want to get into the classified realm, into the trade secret realm.
Prosecutors say that while the GE engineer tells his bosses he's going to visit his family, he leaves out one crucial bit, which is against company policy.
He went on the trip and didn't tell the bosses that he was going to give this presentation.
And that's what initially we were investigating.
GE and law enforcement discovered the engineer had taken company material to China to help him prepare for the presentation. It was material so sensitive that you need a license to take it out of the country. After the FBI confronts him in GE's offices, the employee begins to cooperate.
So what the FBI does is they take control of the operation. They begin to respond as the employee to the emails and the phone calls that are coming in from the Chinese side. And it is a classic double agent operation.
The FBI uses the GE engineer to connect with the man he met in China.
Xu, sitting over in China, is encouraged because the communications that are coming back from the FBI, posing as the employee, are encouraging.
So Xu thinks the GE engineer is a spy for China.
He's moving in that direction.
But he's actually a double agent working for the FBI.
That's right.
Xu begins testing the boundaries, sending detailed requests to the engineer to see what he'd be willing to fork over.
One of the things that Xu sent to the GE engineer was a shopping list of things that he was looking for. This was a list of things that he obviously had gotten from talking to other people in China, companies and government officials. So
this is the wish list.
This is the wish list. So the top version is the Chinese version and the translation underneath.
And so this is the actual ask.
He's asking for the types of software programs they're using. He's asking design and structure questions about the composite material for fans and the fan casing.
Was there a moment where you said, you know, we're over the hump here, we have plenty of evidence, we're going to be able to prosecute this case?
To me, it was the request for the laptop directory.
A laptop directory would list all the files that the engineer had access to, files filled with GE's proprietary information and possibly the secret sauce for its engine bleeds.
He attaches instructions on exactly how
here's how you do it.
Yes.
Step 1, create a notepad document. Step 2, open it and entering the following content. So he's giving him literally step-by-step instructions on how to send him GE information.
Yeah, and this is the type of document that should make U.S. companies nervous. This is exactly the steps that you go through if you want to copy your company computer and give it to China.
China is one of the world's biggest markets for new commercial aircraft, and it's relied on Boeing and Airbus for most of its airplanes. The country has a commercial airplane manufacturer, Comac, but it hasn't exactly done well.
The Chinese have, since the late 70s, tried to develop their own aircraft, first on their own and then in collaboration with Western companies. Almost all of those have failed.
Scott Kennedy of the Center for Strategic and International Studies has been researching China since he was a college student there 35 years ago.
The C919, which is supposed to compete with Boeing 737, everything that's in that plane that keeps it in the air is American or European.
So explain, if you could, how this Chinese spy, Xu Yanjun, stealing this piece of technology from GE Aviation, fit into the larger goal of what China's trying to do.
The Chinese have been trying to develop engine technology on their own. There have been people in China who have been looking for alternative means, so to speak.